Well, by the time I was 7, I'd had my first brandy. It was huge. It was the biggest brandy you could possibly imagine. It was in a massive glass, and my mum gave it to me. This is the story of why. It starts with a slice of bread, and then a second slice of bread, and the pièce de résistance, the chocolate sandwich, which now I only ever eat at Easter. When I was a kid, my mum used to work nights, which meant that she'd come home about 4 o'clock in the morning, get 3 hours sleep, and then wake up, get me and my sister up and take us to school. There was no time to make breakfast, so she used to stop at a shop on the way, and her special treat for us, although it wasn't really a special treat because it happened every day, was a chocolate sandwich, which my sister and I ate very happily on the way to school. What was the result of this marvellous adventure in my childhood? So this is the breakfast I used to have every morning on the way to school. Oh, so good. Carb City. Sugar Rush. Oh, that's great. By the time I was 7, I was suffering from massive toothache. So what did my mum do? She took me to the dentist. But dentists in Ibiza were not the same as dentists now. They didn't spend money on things like anaesthetic. So when I turned up to the dentist, he took out a tool that was toothbrush length, but at the end, instead of a nice fluffy brush, there was a stainless steel cone pointed at the end, and he used this to dig away at my rotten teeth. Now this was okay for about 3 seconds until he hit nerves, and then when he went into the gums to dig out the rotten tooth. I remember gripping onto the sides of the dentist chair and even my toes curling up with the pain. So you had to be tough in those days, and my mum's fantastic idea was to take me back to the bar, and she saw that I was in a state of shock, blood still oozing out of my mouth, and she thought the perfect cure would be a giant glass of brandy. And although this did actually work, a better cure would have been not to keep feeding me chocolate sandwiches every morning on the way to school. That didn't happen. So by the time I was 12, I'd already had 7 fillings. None of them with anaesthetic. She didn't give me any more brandy though. Happy Easter. And for more excitement, check out some of the videos appearing all over your screen. You might even want to subscribe. Who knows? More lockdown mayhem coming soon. See you soon on my channel.